Well, here we are, everybody, back to the Ball Cap Bible Study. It's August of 2023, so we are took July off. We're starting back up. No, I'm not in Alaska. That's just a little screensaver thing that comes with this recording studio. So I'm rocking the Winnie the Pooh hat today, so I am feeling good. I just walked a couple of miles this morning, and it's really humid outside. Thick air is thick, but I'm having some coffee, so that'll get me kickstarted. Well, we finished Sermon on the Mount. We finished the study of James. We finished the uh, theology of humbling, all sorts of things. And I thought let's do a little shorter series. So I thought, what would be good? Maybe get us up into Thanksgiving. What takes about 10 weeks? Won't quite get us to Thanksgiving, but what in the Bible, what would make a good 10-week study? What what has 10 things in it? There's the 12 tribes of Israel. There's, all sorts of stories of brothers and things. Like, oh, there's 10 commandments. So let's go over the 10 commandments. And when you look at the just the concept of the 10 commandments, when I look at them, God really didn't set the bar that high. Um, you know, realize there's only one supreme being, kind of like you don't get multiple choices on supreme pizzas. If there were more than one God, one supreme almighty God, uh, then he wouldn't be supreme. Um, but really think about it. Don't kill people. Don't take what's not yours. Don't lie. I mean, how that's those aren't very, it's not like make sure, you can do the quadratic formula correctly. I mean, it is pretty simple stuff. There's a concept out there on the Ten Commandments that's why they're so simple, because God is showing us we can't even do that our sin nature is, it's just sad that how we are. All you have to do is watch TV and you can see that they're broken all the time. I fully admit I'm a sinner. I'm probably the worst pastor you'll ever meet. So let's talk about, and I want to do something a little different. I want to kind of perk up from the bottom. I want to start with number 10. Uh, I'll read it here in a minute, but it talks about, number 10 is like, it already says don't steal, don't commit adultery, but then the last one is don't even think about it. Don't even desire uh, to have what's not yours rightfully. So it's pretty interesting. That word covet, you look up on, you can Google it, and it's that great desire for something to the point where you would hurt somebody else to have it, to have what's theirs, to take what's theirs, to have what's not yours, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna come over here and click on something so I can read this. All right, I think you can still see me. My screen is kind of blocked out a little bit, but I know it's still seeing my face. So I'm gonna read this. So you know this, you've heard it. Um, you shall not covet your neighbor's house. This is Deuteronomy, or I'm sorry, Exodus 2017. This is the Exodus version. It's also repeated in Deuteronomy, but here we go. Uh, you shall not covet, that word covet, that great desire to where you would be willing to uh, violate another commandment to get it. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female servant, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. So, we talk about that word covet, and um, you know, it's even thousands of years ago, God knew there was going to be this temptation, this keeping up with the Joneses kind of deal, and that is not where joy is. I want to read you something Jesus said out of Luke 12, and this is where the somebody in the crowd came up and said, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." So I don't know if you've ever had any family squabbles, and especially if you've seen those end of life conversations that can turn into knockdown dragouts. I have seen and am seeing as a pastor for senior adults, I have seen so many times when, I want what's mine, I want what's fair, or they just steal it. They start taking from their parents even before they're dead. All right, that's a whole other thing. So he said to them, "Man, who made me a judge or an arbitrator over you?" Then he says, "Is what Jesus." And here's where the "Thou shalt not covet" comes in. Take care and be on your guard against all covetousness. They knew the commandment. They knew what Jesus was alluding to. Take care and be on guard against all covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. Joy is not in accumulation, and joy also does not come from, you know, being jealous about what other people have, or, you know, uh, obviously today we don't have slaves. We don't have, male servants and female servants and all that kind of thing. But believe me, I've heard the stories. I know that there are ladies out there that have to have someone come clean their house because the lady down the street has someone come clean hers. Or, the we don't covet oxes and donkeys today, but cars, you'll see all the time somebody will get a new car and then somebody else has got to get one too. So, and we've had a vehicle stolen. So covetousness leads to that. So you have my screen locked up. So I hope this is still recording. I'll go back and check it in a second. But you have people who will take what is not theirs. We know what they're called. They're called thieves. That's another violation. But that comes from coveting. That comes from wanting something, and maybe it's just a means to an end. But the thing is, here's the deal. In James, it talks about, lust giving birth to sin, and even that is sinful in and of itself. Uh, Lust gives birth to temptation, and then from temptation comes sin. So, why even let something tempt you? God causes it to rain on the just and the unjust. We saw in Sermon on the Mount. In Sermon on the Mount, that's where Jesus also said, "Don't store up your treasures on earth, where moth and rust decay and thieves break in to steal, but store up your treasures in heaven, because where your treasures are, your heart is also." So that bottom one, as we work our way up, really, if we all followed the first one, "Have no other gods before me, I am the Lord your God," the one, we wouldn't need the other nine. Just like the great commandment: love the Lord with all your heart and soul and mind and strength, love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus said, on these two the whole law is based. So we'll work our way up. But think about it. If you never coveted anything, you people probably wouldn't lie, steal, cheat, kill, all that. So the 10 Commandments are a big deal. There's a neat, I would challenge you with this. I'll close with this. Dennis Prager, you can go on to YouTube after you watch this and search on PragerU. So it's short for university, Prager, and then the letter U, and then 10 Commandments. And watch his overall video on the 10 Commandments. It's really, really good. And I align with what he says in that. So I love you guys. This is the first one back. Don't covet. You know, I've run out of time to covet. I barely have enough time and energy to handle my own stuff. So I'm gonna sign off. Love you guys. This is the first one back. Next week we'll go over commandment number 9. Bye.